as we say in Australia, g'day, and welcome here, all conscious avatars, all awakened beings at this time of the year. I'm coming to you just shortly before Christmas, and it's that time just in between where everybody's rushing around, coming together as families and celebrating families, that we also have to think about what's happened in 2022. And for many, what happened at Christmas 2021. Many of you I know had been segregated from your families and loved ones. And there was this deep feeling in your heart that how could the people you love really consider you to be alien and foreign because you think differently? And I'm one of those people, Brian and I are. We had the same experience. But what I'm coming to you here today is, even though we can move on and welcome our families back if that's what you choose to do, please remember that by just pretending that things are as they were prior to the narrative, prior to 2020, you are sending a message to the people around you that you accept the behaviour. Now, you may be able to forgive their actions, but you can't forget that they treated you and conditioned you to be a certain way. Now, this might seem counterproductive, as we've always been told to forgive and turn the other cheek, but that's part of the conditioning that humanity has been going through for eons of time. And as awake avatars, as beautiful souls, beautiful humans, beings of light, understand that the way we behave is letting somebody else know how you want to be treated. So for Brian and I, we made a decision that we wouldn't be treated like we did last year, and we chose to just spend some time to ourselves. So have a think about that before you race out and do the things that you feel you should or have to. Maybe sometimes it's pulling on your big boy, big girl pants and saying, no, I don't accept the way that you've treated other humans in the world. And so therefore I'm not going to do it because I should or I shouldn't. So just something to think about this Christmas as you rush into the festivities. Now, coming up this week on Wednesday night here in Australia and the UK and Europe, and then on Thursday morning for Australia and the USA, we have our winter and for us summer solstice is coming up, and it's a very special time of the year when the great central sun is really stream a lot of photon active light to us, lots of gamma radiation coming in, and we're being upgraded, we're being coded. So the coding in our DNA is actually awakening, and we're starting to remember all the things that is stored in our soul, all the gifts that we have. And for Brian and I know this is really powerful because we spent 4 days away last week, and just spending some time quietly to ourselves in nature. What actually I came back and I really noticed a difference, not only in the change of energy, but there's something shifted as if a veil had lifted. So at this time of the year, when we go into the solstice activation, we're going to be doing quite a lot of really interesting things. At this time, you know, when the sun connects to us, it's also connecting to different areas, to, for instance, to the star system Syrius that sends the connection down to the pyramids of Giza, and also connecting all the chakras of Earth. And in Australia, we have the solar plexus chakra at Uluru. Now, in 2019, just by chance, Brian and I happened to be going to Uluru for work. And what happened was Brian felt a day or two before that we had to go to the rock. And he wasn't too sure until he got there. And his soul was telling him he had to put back the crystal. And for eons of time, Brian's been telling me about how he kept the crystals from Atlantis on spaceships to keep them safe. And now was the time to actually put the crystal back at Uluru and fix the cradle it was sitting on, because he damaged it on purpose so that nobody could destroy it. This is obviously in a previous life. So while we were there, he placed back the crystal back into the cradle. And that particular time in 2019 was very special about anchoring the solar plexus of Mother Earth and then helping to bridge, the rainbow serpent, and helping us to move into high states of consciousness and awareness. So at this time, we'll be connecting again, as we normally do, to the star systems, to Earth, to the chakras of the Earth, and back into Uluru, the solar plexus of the Earth. And this time we will also be going through a beautiful heart opening, beautiful heart activation, so you can experience more of that light coming into your heart, and not only your heart but also your pineal gland. Now the pineal gland is the part of us that helps us to see beyond what we see just with our physical eyes. It helps us to see and activate our third eye chakra. And we know for eons of time they've been trying to do all they can to stop us from being able to use this most powerful gland in our body. So we'll be going through that. Also, what else did I have on my list that we were going to do? We're going to go to the Temple of Our Soul. So every year before we head into 223, I take people to the Temple of the Soul, where they can find in their book of the life their word for the coming year. Now, I had a beautiful word come to me last year. It was called celebration. Now, that's not a word I usually use. It's not that I don't like to celebrate, but it's not a word that I would normally come into my consciousness, and it came very quickly. So I knew this was actually my intuition, my soul communicating. So I'm going to give you a word because it's the great place to anchor as we start striding into 2023, where there are going to be so many changes, and it's going to be extremely important for us to be very grounded and very anchored within ourselves, very strong and resilient within ourselves, as there is a lot more disclosure going on, but there is a massive shift that is happening. And I guess if you're all here, you understand that shift or have been feeling that shift coming. So by taking your soul word for the year, you can help it to be part of your intention for everything you do, as your word to bring you back to. So for instance, celebration is what I'm going to do. For instance, going to cause me to celebrate or feel that joy of celebration within myself. So hence, don't do things because you're obliged or obligated to do. You need to use the power of your love and move past that. So from Brian and I, if you're not joining us for any of the activations, the solstice activation, our very last time together for 2022, we wish you a most joyous time with whatever you're doing at this time of the year, and wishing you many blessings for 2023. And for all those who are joining us, just follow the link below. You'll need to register to get the Zoom link. I look forward to seeing you all, and have a wonderful time.